Hello, welcome back. It's all action still in Mubad Plus. First up, Abyssia actually just moved back into Goodfish and took it off Pyrenees, so I guess they're not going to be friends. So he's grabbed that back. Lots of interesting battles then. Got Kayla moving into Spies of Ascension, nice for them. There was then a battle in Beratos, so Beratos gets what he wants, which is he patrols with a bunch of stuff, and Makoni moves in. Makoni has bought his god and quite a lot of Gigante hoplites. Far more helots though. Some Discus guys in the back. What are they? Discobolus? Interesting. So a bit of PD too. Long line of sacreds. So Beratos needs this battle to go well. But I guess you could say that about a lot of battles. I guess if you're watching at home, you can place your bets now. Who would you put your money on? The big Makoni stack or the Beratos defense? I'm curious. Leave a comment right now. Right now. Just scroll down. Nothing's happening in the video, it's paused. You scroll down, go comment, I think Beratos will win, or I think Makoni will win, alright? You done that? Make sure you press submit, okay? Yep. Alright, let's see then. So, these units are different from these. What are these ones? So these are the Ectromus. They have, okay, they both have golden spears though. What is the difference? I'm not sure exactly. I'll check their recruitment screen in a second. These guys look like they're on attack rear. There is Makoni's god here, of course. The Divine Glyph. F8S6. It'd be pretty hard to kill this guy. Although they do have magic weapons, actually, so maybe it's not that difficult. Because they can hit straight through Ethereal. They do get caught on some more sacreds, though. Healot's immediately routing, but... Now, the thing that's really significant here, that I think is making a huge impact, I didn't realize how good this was, is that every single unit in combat right now is blind. Okay, not that guy, but maybe he didn't hit much. All these... Okay, maybe not that guy. Okay, a lot of these guys. All the guys I clicked before are blind. They've all been blinded by the Eye Vengeance Bless, Sight Vengeance. So you can see that these guys, usually very impressive. Once they're blind, they have 0 attack and 1 defense, so... This guy currently, I mean, he's routing, so that also lowers his attack. When they're not routing, they have an attack of 5 with the Golden Spear. So, I mean, you know, pretty hard for them to hit. They're also a lot easier to hit. They do still have 21 protection, though. But you can see, Beratos' troops are just not dying because... Well, they can't be hit, because all the enemies are blinded. It's pretty surprising. I've never seen the Sight Vengeance Bless before. But it seems really good against early melee aggression like this. Look at all these blind units. It's crazy. The Gigantes just can't do anything. His god is not affected yet. But it does have affliction resistance anyway. But yeah, the Gigantes have just crumbled. It does take a very long time to kill them, of course. They're still extremely tanky. But they just don't do anything. As soon as they hit the wall of Beratos Sacreds, that's it. They just become dead weight. That was actually far more convincing than I thought it would be. So if we look at the stats from that battle, The Colossi Warriors, 14 of them died. Now, admittedly, there's a shitload of PD here. This is a 40-point PD dump, but yeah, these things didn't really do much. But I think a far bigger the thing that's significant is the Gigantes didn't get any kills, right? So 40 of those units are like the big important units. They just didn't really do anything. And they died pretty easily. They've just all been wiped. Yeah, so I mean, if you go all in like this and you massively dump your PD and you pull everything back to patrol, I mean, you hope you win, but that was very convincing. He barely lost anything. 14 Sacreds. It's probably like, what, 2 turns of recruitment? This seems worse. These are limited to 3 per turn. So, it's significantly worse than 2 turns of recruitment, I think. So that seems pretty bad for Makoni. He also lost a Polemarch, which is 415 gold commander. So, yeah. It's probably not the result that Makoni was looking for. So that's great news for Beratos. As if that was not enough, the alliance of Small Fry did actually hold true to their word. Calum comes storming in here, taking out the Furbolg province. And Pale Highlands is taken by a giant Marvoni stack as well. So, not much to see there really, but let's see, where's the map? So, Calum is down here, Marvoni next to them. Teaming up. You go that way, I go this way. They're about to move in and take Makoni's stuff. And Beratos, of course, successful here. Probably going to push straight out. He does have to be a bit careful of the man-eater, I suppose, but looks like Makoni's a bit cut off now. See, now it's Makoni who needs to worry about his cap. No one has a second fort yet, is the thing. Well, except Purani, but they don't count. But no one around here has a second fort. So if you get your fort put under siege, you lose all your income, which is really not good. So you're particularly vulnerable to your cap being sat on at this stage of the game. So lots of people could come and sit on Makoni's cap right now. So he has to use some units to defend that. He does have the man-eater though. The man-eater can fly back and defend against this stuff. I think you still want to try and put pressure on Beratos, but I think, I mean, I don't know. I think the pressure is off now for at least a few turns. Because, yeah, Makoni just lost his big units. He probably grouped an awful lot of his Gigantes together there, didn't he? He has this little stack, but I imagine that was a lot of what he had. Because there was 40 total. I mean, you get 3 of each a turn. And it's turn 12, so... if he was max recruitment the whole game, he'd have like 60 total, right? So... that seems like a lot. Like a big loss. So great news for Beratos. I think Makoni's going to be forced to play defensively now, isn't he? He has to try and get all these small fry off his back. If he can. So we'll see what they do next now. I think Beratos is chilling though. He can just take his cap circle and then let these guys go and clean up Makoni if he wants to. We'll see what he does. What else did we see? There's some other good stuff in here. We can see, you know, Fonoria still expanding. That's good for them. Sauro throwing a Soothsayer at the Woods of Friendship. Roos taking Falgoth. Very nice. Muspelheim back in Nom. He's not done with these wizards yet. So the illusions do not get on the commander this time. They are surrounding that guy. Yeah, he's done for. Still a pretty difficult... A giant just got put to sleep. They seem to still be attacking though. I don't know what the purple Zeds are for. Not going great again. How's that commander doing? Alright, I think the commander's okay. This giant is getting a bit frustrated. Backing off. What are you doing? you trying to save your commander? I've never seen this behavior. What a conscientious giant. Alright, they're cleaning up the summons. Here we go. So how many hit points are you actually on? 10. They are getting up to Steve here. He is ephemeral blasting them, though. Still has 17 hit points. Nope, the giants have had enough. This guy is confused, I think. Yeah, okay. This guy is also confused, yeah. I'll say. Why are we back here? Alright, so, still not a great result from Muspelheim. They did get 137 kills, well done, but still didn't take the province, unfortunately. Yep. Next up, we can also see... Yeah, Ubar taking some more Yomi stuff. I think they're a bit too cautious here. I think I would have pressed straight on and tried to get on their cap after seeing how easy it was to cut down a Dione. Because, yeah, they're really screwed if you sit on their cap, right? And, yeah, I think that's not really much else to say about that. I think you should have just pushed straight into a classic province. But let's see what happens next turn now. He's took Cassian. I mean, he's, you know, slowly strangling him. I mean, I guess... Yumi does have a bunch of stealth units, right? He could be stealthing some stuff around. We wouldn't see that. So that's also possible. What does your army look like, actually? Army size... Yumi... Oh, no, you're not... You're not massing goblins. You're, oof, look at that big drop for McConey. Yikes. That's probably not what he wanted. Anyway, let's look around the map. So the Baratos War we looked at, yeah, the Yomi War, I mean, this is a pretty simple front, right? It's not a great situation for Yomi to be in after losing that Dione, but he's got a little bit of breathing room now. Next turn, I mean, if Ubar keeps playing like this, he probably takes Snap Branch next, although that's also a Cap Circle province, interestingly. We'll see what he does then. Baratos, yeah, he's probably chilling now. Roos, you know, still slowly expanding. He's doing his thing. Respect. He's doing fine. Sarah's trying to take Woods of Friendship, but that's okay. Ubar, yep, doing fine. Pyrenean Abyssia. I guess these guys are at war then, if he's just taking that. Probably very mad about losing all those sacreds. Oh yeah, he's moved these guys across the river. Okay. So... the time of independent provinces is over. The time of crushing Pyrenees is now, I think. So we'll see how that works out. Malverni. Malverni are also doing quite well, aren't they? They've got the dragon to help defend against any aggression. They're going to pick up a few free Maconi provinces, I think. They are more vulnerable than Calum here. But we'll see what they grab. They did just get a Silvermine province. That's a really nice find for them. They probably want to defend that. This is actually a large army as well. 87 units, and 20 of them are Bull Warriors. Although they... Is it the Bull Warriors that's sacred? What about the Carnute guys? Are you also sacred? No. So these guys do have the gimmicky Explosion Bless. I'm not sure how... I'm not sure... Oh, these guys don't even get blessed. Okay, probably wise. But yeah, that's a big army. That'll chop up a couple of giants easily, I think. Well, maybe not easily, but... Actually, yeah, probably easily. These guys get berserk, don't they? Yeah, oh yeah. They'll chop up those giants. Yeah, he can hold this, I think. He actually has a... He's like, what, first on army now as well? Second behind Sarah. He has tons of units everywhere. It looks like he's got mercenaries too. Oh, yeah. I think Marvoni's chilling for the time being. Yeah, he's in a great position. He's, you know, allied with Calum, at war with Maconi with a bunch of friends. Ubar's stuck in another war. Hasn't met Femoria yet, so... Great position for him to be in. Muspelheim, I mean, they're doing their thing. They want to finish expanding. They invested so many units into this province, they need to take it now. It looks like Sarah might get it though. Looks like they have a palisades up full of... that might actually invade Muspelheim, actually. That's a lot of units. They are first on army, right? Yeah. Yeah. Muspelheim, I imagine, does not have much army. They are dead last. They were hoping to have a bunch of giants at this point, and unfortunately, some rough times in these two provinces have sort of killed that dream for them. Maconi. Ugh, that's gotta feel bad to be Maconi. He is building a fort, I remember. I think it's here. It's got a temple and a lab already. It's probably been getting built for a few turns now. So his, you know, infrastructure is well developed at least. So he can recover faster than anyone else because he'll have 2 places he can recruit from. But losing those 3 rec per turn guys is probably really bad. Sarah's big and, you know, I mean, these are also doing very well. Also has a very well developed infrastructure and economy. Is holding the worst province in the game, but what can you do? Moria has gone underwater. I forgot that they can do this. He got his cool national hero. Oh, that's not who I thought it was. I thought it was... Oh, yeah, I thought it was... They get the national hero with the ray of death in his eye, but that's not this guy. This is someone else. Oh, well. Still, he's underwater. He got a lake for himself. Probably also doing quite well. Calum, yep. There we are. So who's the biggest now? It's still Maconi. And then it's Marverni. That's quite funny. So it's Maconi, then Marverni, Sarah, and Femoria. Then everyone else is kind of clustered. Interesting. The worst 2 are actually Pyrenees and Abyssia, safely in their cave. And now they're going to go to war with each other, instead of taking all those independent provinces I gave them. Yeah, it's currently just Sarah and Pyrenees with the extra forts. But I think Maconi is not far behind. Income doesn't tell us much. Gem income doesn't tell us much. It's surprising that Abyssia is first, though. Yomi's still way out ahead in research. I wonder if they can research something that will help them against Ubar in the short term. They're probably just getting buffs for their Dione, though, is the thing. Beritos with no research recently. I guess because he was patrolling with all his mages or something. Interesting stuff. Alright then. Let's leave things there. It's turn 12. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hello, welcome back. A bunch of messages, people updating us on what's going on. So let's see first. Maconi, hi Mew. I hope you're getting good content for your YouTube series. Please turn my mistakes into something useful and or entertaining. I'll try. Abyssia then. Unfortunately, I only managed to get half a dozen provinces in the first year. I swear I practiced expansion numerous times, but this is probably the worst I've done. Got greedy going for those cavemen and good fish. Even though I made a rule never to fight cavemen except with assassins. Yeah, cavemen hit extremely hard. Always worth watching out for them. Pyrenees coming in and wiping my backup army really hurt. Luckily, Pyrenees and I chatted, and he's agreed to leave me alone. Agreed to leave me the caves west of the river. Sounds like he's gearing up to fight somebody on the surface. Ooh, I imagine that's Calum? I guess we'll see. Well, that's surprising. I guess the cave boys are going to play nice. Pyrenees also was happy with how his sacreds performed in the battle. Certainly very tanky. If more burning ones gone berserk, maybe it would have carried the day. Once my god wakes up, my bless will be considerably better as well. Taking another big risk into a Sino province. Recruiting demon-bred assassins. I was hoping to perform better in my first multiplayer game, but it's still early days, and if I can capture the caves, I have a pretty defensible area. Yeah. My original plan was to do an early war, but I think now I need to sit tight and maybe start getting some blood hunting going. If I'm not the first one out, I'll consider it a win. Well, I mean, I think if you learn one thing from this series, it's that, you know, lots of people had quite a few struggles early on. Especially Yomi, holy shit. But, you know, there's always some way back into the game if you struggle early. Speaking of Yomi, I paid 10 glamour and 5 fire gems, and the province I took to have a non-aggression pact until turn 20 with Ubar. That's surprising to me. I would have thought for sure Ubar would just press the advantage and rock Yomi, but interesting. And Beritos finally. Last turn kind of sucked, this one was much better. Maconi attacked last turn, which is whatever me, Calum, and Marverni had planned to being attacked them this turn anyway. I had a tough choice though. Protect my fort under construction or move everything I could to my cap to protect it. In the end, I decided they'd likely send everything they could to my cap, yeah. So bumped the PD up a bit and set everything I could to patrol. Yeah, I think you had to. Turns out I guessed right and dealt Maconi a pretty serious blow. Lost more Colossi than I'd like, but now Calum and Mavoni should hopefully distract them and gain a bit of territory. Plan is to march to the cap ASAP. At least I'll survive and maybe grown a bit. Turns out Unbearable Splendor was a good choice for the Colossi. Just wish I'd taken out their PG, but hopefully that will be taken care of soon. So, there's your diplomacy update. Someone's Dormant God just woke up. Nice to see. A couple of battles then. We can see that Sauro is actually attacking Muspelheim from the looks of things. So just marching up with the Oypartas. These guys do have 10 fire resistance on their Bless, which Large Muscle Mummy here is demonstrating for us. So yeah, they're probably quite well equipped to deal with Muspelheim. We'll see. This looks like that's that nice Garnet Amazon province that Muspelheim had. If I go to the map, yeah, we also see they took Nom as well. So the province that Muspelheim's been softening up for the last couple of turns. Let's see how Sauro handles it. A lot more units, cleaning up the illusions a bit faster. Always useful. The Oypartas are now running around, getting the last few illusions. They do still get hurt by Ephemeral Bast quite a lot, but there are more of them to soak up the blows. What is doing ongoing... Oh no, that must have been healing, not damage. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, it marches into... Look how deadly this province is. There's just 2 illusionists, but they kill a fifth of this 180 unit army, including 12 Oypartas. I mean, they're 50 gold sacreds. That's such an expensive province to pick up, actually. I mean, raiders are no joke either. It's almost 200 gold of raiders, and what was this? 50 gold? So 600 gold's worth of Oypartas. I mean, that's an 800 gold expense to take that province. I mean, that's no joke. If you see this guy, what's his name again? Yeah, if you see Bolivar Wise, be careful. This is like a serious... This is one of those rare provinces that has a completely unique indie type. Yeah, and it's no joke. That's an extremely deadly province that we... just unfortunate for Muspelheim, got generated right next to them. And produced no scouting report, which is like such a bait. But yeah, he grabs it now. And he does now have this large stack that's, you know, quite aggressive. I mean, Muspelheim is probably dead. This is going to be difficult to deal with because he's had so many setbacks early on. Are you building a fort anywhere? Yes, building a fort in Gerthurg at least. What about Summer Bay? Also building a fort in Summer Bay. Okay, he's getting infrastructure up. No lab or temples yet, but he's going to have to defend against this. That's a bit awkward. We also saw Yomi attacking a throne. So first throne pickup of the game, if this goes well. This is also defended by some mages, but nothing quite as deadly as Bolivar. Ooh, they are diseased. One of them's diseased. A few... Okay. So that suggests... Yeah, oh yeah. Oh, they're starving, actually. So it might not be a disease site. It might just be... Are all the disease guys starving? Well, commanders wouldn't be, would they? I'm not sure what that suggests. Yeah, a lot of units are starving, which, considering there's, like, very few units here... It's obviously very few supplies here. But also some diseased commanders too. So there might be a disease site here, it's hard to tell. I don't think commanders get starving. Because they always get fed before units. This is a pretty easy province though. I think one of the things is, because so many units are starving, they probably have like no morale, right? Yeah, this guy's got 5 morale, so these guys are rolling in with a fear aura. is probably going to trigger routing immediately, right? So pretty easy pickup for them. Let's take a look at this province. It is 81 suppliers. I'm not sure if this province has a disease site or what. But, well, I guess maybe we'll find out. If it's a death site or something, he should be able to search that quite easily. Maybe we'll see it. Either way, yeah, congrats to Yomi, who picks up the first throne of the game, I think, the Crystal Throne. So, rough start for Yomi, but if they've made peace with Ubar, I mean, that's pretty good for them, actually. I would have thought for sure that Ubar would just press the advantage now. I think maybe that's a mistake by Ubar, to be honest, but maybe they're nervous that their neighbors are going to attack them? Then again, Marvoni, Beritos, and Kalem are all in a war, so I don't know. Well, throne for Yomi. We saw Sarah moving into Nom. We see Kalem attacking Makoni and winning here. They also attack Estenofia and do not win. Lots of PD being dumped in these provinces by Makoni. But Beritos moves into Pannonia. Marvoni moves into Acid Jazz Swamp. So yeah, Makoni lost 3 provinces this month. Pannonia, Acid Jazz, and Evoca. Didn't lose Estenofia though. But yeah, feeling the pinch. I did notice they've got quite a lot of army now though. So after that loss last turn, they suddenly just recruited a bunch of small units, it looks like. So they're going to try and fight back against this. Good luck to them. What else can we see? Pyrenees attacking Gnome Dark. So, yeah, these guys are making peace too. That looks like it works out quite well for Abyssia, because there's all this territory for him to grab now. I guess Pyrenees content to go up on the surface. They do have lots of exits to the surface, so there's plenty they could do. If they want to go war someone, I mean, it's probably going to be Kalem. So look forward to that. Rus, still doing slow expansion. Keeping to themselves. Best of luck to them. Memoria still expanding. Not much to see there either. Yeah, I think expansion stuff probably not too interesting at this point. That is a lot of dead cavemen, amusingly. But yeah, this is the province Abyssia was worried about. They've got plenty of troops. So Sino's also quite deadly. These guys attack twice per round, and they have a javelin to throw, and they go berserk, so quite obnoxious. But nice province to pick up. They'll be able to recruit mages out of this province, I believe. I'm not super experienced with... Yeah, they'll be able to recruit shaman. So I think that gets them into nature then, right? I can't imagine that Abyssia gets nature magic. But I could be wrong. So yeah, that's actually quite nice mages for Abyssia, I think. And that's it for the battles we can see. I think I've looked at all the interesting stuff. Let's just quickly... So yeah, Yomi made peace with Ubar, grabbed a throne, pretty nice for them. Beritos getting back into the game now. Can finally grab their cap circle, otherwise they're doing quite well. Rus with the slow expansion. Ubar making peace with Yomi. I wonder what they're going to do next then. Maybe they just want to grab these 2 thrones or something. Pyrenees also making peace with Abyssia. Lots of peace in this game. Unless you're these guys. Marvoni doing very well. I think the graphs are more interesting at this point than the map. Muspelheim got their work cut out for them. Best of luck to them in their fight against Sarmatia. Makoni, we'll see what they do. They still have this fort about to go up, so yeah. Sarah doing well, Mori doing well. Kalem, you know, grabbing some provinces off Makoni, that's nice for them. And back to Yomi. Yeah, let's look at the graph. So, province-wise, Makoni was top dog. They have fallen off a bit. It's now between them, Sarmatia, Marvoni, and Femoria as the big players in the game. So, Kalem, Beritos, and Marvoni. It's definitely Marvoni who's getting the better of, well, everything right now. Forts-wise, most people are still just on 1 fort. Sarah, Marvoni, and Pyrenees on 2. Income, big fall off for McConey, although it isn't all just going to one person. Not yet, anyway. Some of it's gone to Malvern, some of it's going to Calum. None of it going to Beritos yet. To be honest, though, the provinces they're taking back should be theirs anyway. Can't see much from gem income or blood income. Research. I think it's interesting that Rus is still in third. And Yomi's first. Because, yeah, Rus is... I mean, they're not really... I think they're a dark horse in this game. They're doing, you know, steady expansion. You know, they're still very low, but they're on a continuous upward climb, which a lot of people are not, you know. They're third on research. I mean, I think they're doing quite well, you know. Keeping to themselves. I don't think they have to worry about Yomi just yet. So they might be able to grab these swamps next. We've got some guys here. Maybe they can eventually get Givernia. There's plenty of troops building up in the cap too. They've got a little bit of throne access in Goat Island. And they can grab this throne as well if they get underground. So, you know, interesting player. Very quiet. But we'll see how they end up. And congrats to Yomi for being the first people on the Ascension Point board, I assume. Eventually. We still have Dominion here, which is quite funny. It's down to 1 candle though. And there's turn 13. Good stuff. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.